Alrighty. Thing number one for this week's version of the five things, the let's look at the data issue. AuthID, ticker AUID, reports first quarter.
All right, so we've been talking a lot about the importance of biometric authentication, that my Twitter or now X account was hacked. And, that there were people who said, hey, why is that a big deal? It's social media, who cares? But, imagine it had been your bank account or your brokerage account or, your identity. These things do matter. AuthID has the best in class, fastest response. They can authenticate somebody using a passive selfie. That just means a one-time selfie in 0.7 of a second. The company announced their first quarter, last week, and first quarter revenue was almost as high as the revenue from all of 2023. And the company gave guidance for the first time. And that guidance, if you just take a revenue run rate, indicates they think their quarterly revenue is going to double later this year. So first quarter revenue, almost the same as 2023 full year. Revenue in the second, third, fourth quarter, we're looking for something in the neighborhood of double what first quarter revenue was. And one thing that we were really excited about is, there have been people complaining about the company's bARR metric. It stands for booked annual recurring revenue. I was among them. I thought it was a bad metric to be using. I thought the CFO, Ed Sellitto, did a fantastic job clarifying this previously confusing metric. Star intern Andrew Brown is going to put up a slide showing you from the company's presentation where they broke everything out from their contractual commitments from their customers and then their usage above commitment. And so that if you add them together, you end up with bARR. But the company is going to have better, more clear, discrete reporting going forward. And I thought that was a huge plus. I thought Ed did a really nice job breaking that out.
Sounds like a lot of good positive stuff coming from the reporting, Gary, playing devil's advocate. Anything worrisome? Any hurdles that you see in front of the company? And then what are some of these catalysts that might be on the horizon?
So I don't know. Yeah, there are some hurdles. The first one is the company is onboarding 6 new customers this quarter. And, we've described them before as a public venture capital company. So, they do need to have to onboard these customers successfully, to be able to scale that business, to be able to start to authenticate more people each quarter and each month. I think they're equipped to do it, but we're going to find out this quarter. But basically, DKI has listed 3 near-term catalysts for the stock. One is better financial reporting and clarification of financial metrics. They've done that. And then there are 2 more things they really need to do this year. One is the reason new CEO Ron DeGuro was brought in last year is because he's a sales expert. He's fantastic at putting together sales teams that are systematic. And the company needs to sign some new customers in the second half this year. It's not going to happen in the next month or 2, but in the second half, they're going to have to sign some new customers and show that they can grow the business. One of the reasons we're invested is I have confidence that Ron and his sales team there will be able to do it, but they need to execute. And then the third catalyst that we need to see this year is the company is going to need about $8 to $10 million of financing sometime around October or November. They've been open about it. I have a model on the company. I agree with the company. That is what they're going to need later this year. I have a high degree of confidence that the existing shareholders will step up and will be able to fund the company into next year, at which point I think by the end of next year, AuthID should be self-financing. So those are basically, we said there are 3 catalysts. One is down and they're going to need to do these other 2 things in the second half. To me, it looks good, but we'll see what happens over the next couple of quarters. We'll be watching closely and be communicating with the company and, looking to see that they follow through on everything they say they're going to do.
Definitely. And we'll be sure to keep everyone here in tune as well, both on the 5 things as well as in written reporting when necessary and available.